Doctors, do you ever look around at your colleagues discussing the latest journal article and feel like you are the only one who hasn't read it? Again? Where do they find the time? If that sounds like you, then stay right here because today I'm going to give you my personal CME cheat code, a system that is finally helping me to stop falling behind on podcasts, papers, and clinical guidelines. You're gonna need this. So the other day I was walking down the corridor with a colleague, a more junior colleague I might add, and they were talking about this major nephrology paper that had just come out, and my instant reaction was just this sinking feeling like, great, another article that I haven't read, right? I cannot keep up with this medicine situation. Now, to be fair, I do so much CME, right? I am a medical educator. I spend my entire life reading, learning, breaking things down for the doctor humans of the world, and yet I regularly find myself feeling behind on the latest articles again and again and again. And being behind feels awful, right? Especially when you care deeply about being competent and up to date for your patients. A few days after that, I'm getting in the car and I open my podcast app and I realize something hilarious. All the papers that people keep mentioning to me that I think I'm behind on and I just haven't sat down with yet are actually inside this podcast, right? It's called the Freely Filtered Podcast by the NephJC team. Now, if you're a nephrologist on planet Earth and possibly other planets as well, you will absolutely know who they are, right? My fellow educators, my peeps. They have this beautiful Nephrology Journal Club style podcast, and I have subscribed to this podcast and I am able to access the episodes, and yet I am still not listening to this podcast regularly, right? So what's going on there? And so I tried to listen to the podcast on this drive home, but they take like about 90 minutes to get through. And my commute is, on a good day, maybe 40 to 60 minutes. So I'll listen to the podcast, but I won't make it through the whole episode, right? I'll have to pause halfway through and then go live my life, and then I'll tell myself that I'll come back and finish it later, except I never do, right? Because when I'm next inside my podcast app, my brain wants something gentler, easier, more fun, self-development, listening to a wee story, right? You know the vibe, right? Podcasts are pure joy to me. And so clearly that wasn't a NephJC problem, right? Their content is brilliant. This was a Christine problem. This long podcast journal club just simply wasn't compatible with my life. And whilst that was true, that long podcasts are not going to work for me, what's also true is that I don't learn from micro content either. I am the type of person who needs to fully understand a topic, fully explore something before I can integrate it into my clinical practice. So I don't learn from snippets, right? I don't like tweets about new research, and I actually really resent them because they just cause me anxiety and they tell me directly that there is yet another article that you have not read. And whilst this CME battle makes me feel like I'm failing, the issue actually comes from a really good place. I just want to be thorough with the time limits for CME that I have set aside. So personally, I can't prescribe the shiny new drug until I have read the data myself. I want to understand the stats. I want to understand the nuance and really decide for myself, is this clinically relevant and how would I use this safely in my patient? And so if this sounds familiar, if this is you too, then stay with me because the next part is where everything shifted. So the problem with CME was never a lack of willingness, right? It was the way that I was trying to learn within the timeframes that I had set aside. So I need something different. And this is where I created something that I now call the CME Cheat Code. This system is currently helping me to stop falling behind for the first time in years. And I'm going to share it right here with you today because I hope that this helps you too. And so whether you just want to catch up on journal articles, whether you have a journal club presentation coming up for work, this is going to be a game changer. And as part of the CME Cheat Code, there are different steps for journal articles, for podcasts, and even for guidelines. Regardless of how you do your CME or what your next CME study session is going to look like, stick with me here because I'm going to cover all of the good stuff. So, are you ready? Let's get cracking on this CME cheat code situation. Step number 1. Download the podcast audio. This might not be obvious to you guys, so if you're in like Spotify or Apple, it's not really clear how you might be able to download an audio, but there are some other programs out there which make this super easy. So a couple that I came across were Listen Notes, and I'll link these below, but Listen Notes, you can go there and literally search for any podcast and just download the audio straight from there. Or another one is Pocket Casts as well. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys right here. So So I'm just on this Listen Notes platform, which is where we can get the Freely Filtered podcast. I'm going to look for some of the episodes of late because I really want a particular episode. This one here, Can We Start Flozins and Finerenone Simultaneously? So I'm going to go in here and click more, and then I'm going to put download the audio.
Spironolactone was FDA approved.
Too easy. Okay, so now I'm going to just download to my computer. So step 2 is transcribe the episode. I'm taking that audio file and putting it into transcription software. So I had heard that ChatGPT can do audio transcription, and I believe that function exists, but the file that I had, because it was 90 minutes long, it was too much for ChatGPT. So I used another software called Cockatoo. You can use your own software, but that's just one that I already pay for. So pop this into some kind of transcription software, extract the audio. It's totally worth it. So I now have this cooking inside the transcription software. It's not going to take too long. What I'm going to do is have a cup of tea, and I'm also going to get the next step rolling by grabbing that PDF of the journal article for the steps that are coming up very soon. So step number 3 is when we generate a written summary of what we had. So we have our transcript, we're going to pop this into ChatGPT, and we're going to use the prompt that you can find below. And ChatGPT is going to turn this podcast episode into something that's a lot more bite-size for us to consume. And it's going to do this in a couple of really fun ways that we'll see in the next few steps. So step number 4 is to create your own personalized CME audio experience from what you just put into ChatGPT, right? We can take this condensed version and have ChatGPT speak it out to us in our lives as we walk around our house or are in the car or wherever it is, right? So we can actually shorten it into still an audio experience if that's what we want to do whilst we're getting something else done. Never done this before, but I can concur. This is brilliant. So you take the written summary that ChatGPT made using the prompts in the CME Cheat Code, and it generates this natural, friendly podcast style audio for you to listen to in a jiffy. So you can hit play inside ChatGPT, and now you have your own mini lecture version of the podcast.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're diving into something genuinely exciting in the world of kidney medicine. All right, that's the gist of it. A short, sharp, real-world, highly practical study with a very clear take-home.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Also, does Sparks sound like Adam Grant? I think Sparks, my ChatGPT sounds like Adam Grant. I could listen to him all day. How good's that? But also, that didn't take long at all. That took, I don't even know how many minutes, not many minutes to listen to that summary. So thank you very much, Sparks. That was great.
Now, step 5 is download the journal article PDF, because even though we want to listen to the podcast experience, and I would normally, even if I listened to the Freely Filtered podcast and they told me all about the journal article, I still want to go and read that journal article, right? Okay, so although that is a really great source of information and these are nephrologists, still the way I work is that I'm going to have to read that article before I implement, right? And I'm sure that you would feel the same. We're going to download the article and we're going to give that to ChatGPT and do a few magical things with that article. And whether it's just for your own learning or whether it's for a journal club, this is going to be pure gold. So what I have here is the journal that I'm going to grab the PDF of in just a tick. This is the one that they're talking about on the podcast. But I also noticed that very helpfully, this particular journal, so I'm not sure how many journals do this, probably quite a few journals do this these days, but they also come with the visual abstract. So I'm going to grab that as well whilst I'm here. Step number 6, after we've got our PDF, we're going to put it into ChatGPT and we're going to generate a structured paper summary under very specific headings. So these headings are designed so that we can use ChatGPT to create our journal club, and it really ties together with a journal club slide template that I also have included inside the CME Cheat Code. So those headings, of course, are going to be the rationale, the aims and hypothesis, the study subjects, the inclusion and exclusion criteria, the overall trial design, what the key results were, the discussion, the limitations, the conclusion, right? As well as asking how will I apply this clinically to my practice. So ChatGPT will summarize the paper under those specific headings in seconds. And step number 7 is when you create your journal club slide deck. Now, you can use this to do a journal club if you're making slides, but I also find it just a really great way to do active learning, right? So I'm touching something and I'm doing something as I'm reading this paper. But you know when you're reading a journal article and you get very tempted to just kind of like copy what's there, but it's kind of mindless and you're not really interacting with it. So this really overcomes that problem, because all that stuff's been kind of copied across for you, and then you get to just think about it. Do I agree with that? Do I want to add anything to that? Do I want to take anything away from that? And just sort of bring it all together yourself. So ChatGPT is going to give you the bullet points, explain the figures, give you the key results. It's going to give you some key elements from the discussion, and then you sort of pick all the bits you like, all the bits you agree with, and expand on other things that you've come across, other concepts that you find important. So it's a kind of a structured, active process, and it really doesn't take much time to do when it's set up like this. You can set a timer, maybe 30 minutes, and just whiz through that article and just make it happen. And step 8 that I like to do as part of this as well, or instead of, is create a visual abstract. So you'll find inside the CME Cheat Code there are some templates for this, and ChatGPT can also help you to create your visual abstract and summary. So this is brilliant again for journal club, bedside teaching, doing things like I do on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn posts, whatever you want to do. People just love visual abstracts, and we can make our own, and super fun. Step number 9 is one of my absolute favorites. This is when we build a little picture of a person, like who was this study about, right? And can we really apply this to our patients? So it's that kind of generalizability piece, but I like to draw like a little person or multiple different people that kind of represent the study population. Was it majority male or female? What were the ethnicities in the study? Were they smokers? Did they have heart disease? What was their blood pressure, or whatever it is, right? Basically just kind of painting a picture of this person and trying to figure out, like, do I see this person in clinic? Like, is this my person? Like, how would I apply this research to my person if not, right? So trying to find what's relevant to my clinical practice and really be honest with who was this study for. So I love to build a little picture of a person and put these little bubbles around them just to bring that to life. Obviously that's completely optional, but it's in there. So step number 10, go into tutor mode with ChatGPT. So this is where the magic happens. You know, when you're reading an article and you're like, oh God, that statistic, I don't even know what that is. And you can be like, hey, ChatGPT, or Sparks as I like to call mine, what does this mean? Can you explain this to me? Like I'm 5, like, and there's no shame, right? You're by yourself. You're not a statistician, you're a doctor. All we can do is do our best, okay? And it's better to ask questions to ChatGPT than to just languish. I think it's something we struggle with, is what I'm saying, silently or not so silently. And I think, you know, this is a great place to ask questions to ChatGPT. Could there be a better place? So ask those questions, or like if something comes up in the paper where you're like, oh, the author said this, but they also contradicted themselves here, or something feels fishy about this. Like, is this, it might be statistically significant, but is it clinically significant? Like all of those things are great to go in and kind of smash out with ChatGPT, right? And try and dig deeper with a conversation about this, right? So it kind of opens up back and forth conversational style where we've still got more to learn from the article. And I think this is a really key piece, because I don't know about you, but what I find is even when I go to big conferences, they'll chuck up a paper, they'll, you know, something that's changing clinical practice massively. When you really do read the article yourself, sometimes the absolute risk reduction or the actual clinical impact is so trivial, yet because of marketing and drug companies and all the things, we're sort of, you know, told about these drugs at all these different places. And if we just take it at face value, then I think we're doing ourselves and our patients a disservice. And I think we just have to be conscious that these influences are there, and a lot of this stuff is marketing. I think it's really good to have that skeptical approach, which we can really exercise here on our own. And I think sometimes when you're in big rooms with other doctors, we kind of get swept up in the momentum of how great this new drug is, or we're just excited to have a new drug. So yeah, we get swept up in it all. Sometimes you're not the most popular person in a room when you think like that, but I think ultimately that's what we're paid to do as specialists or as physicians. And so now you have the ability to create a personal audio companion, a clean written summary, a journal club slide deck, a visual abstract, a wee person sketch for the generalizability piece, simplified statistics and diagrams that actually make sense, an on-demand statistics tutor if you want one, and your own clinical reasoning integrated throughout. And this is the CME Cheat Code, right? And it's not about shortcuts, right? We do need to do some work, of course we do, but it's about doing this in an aligned way that's intentional, that's deep learning. Now, before we wrap up, there is one more layer that I want to add in here, because CME isn't just about papers and podcasts, right? It's also about clinical guidelines. And guidelines can feel incredibly dense, right? They're super important, but they're also very dense materials. So So I've built this into the CME Cheat Code, a way for you to consume clinical guidelines that feels purposeful, digestible, without losing any of the thoroughness that I know that you are seeking. And I call it the guideline treasure hunt. Before you even open up the guideline, you prime your brain, you tell AI what chapters to expect, whatever your plan is to work through that day, what are the core clinical concepts that matter to you, what are you trying to get out of the guideline, what clues are you hunting for. So the idea is that we're going to give the guidelines to ChatGPT, and then we can choose our own adventure. And so we're going to, using the prompts in the CME Cheat Code, we can set ourselves up for different activities. So ChatGPT could give us some MCQs before we start, or some key points to look out for, almost like guideline bingo, where you like tick off things as you see them. There's lots of different ways to do this, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, but basically just making sure that as you're doing the guidelines, it's an active process. You've got an activity and you've got a little dopamine hit as you go through and you get what you're looking for. More intentional, more memorable, and honestly way more fun than just reading the guidelines passively. All right, so let's bring it home. The CME Cheat Code. If you want all of the prompts to start using this yourself, the full CME Cheat Code prompt bank is linked below in the description box. All of those are copy and paste ready. You can use them for any podcast, any paper, any journal club, any specialty. And if you want me to do a real-time journal club using the exact system, leave me a comment below and I'll make it happen. So doctors, I hope that helps. Let's make CME feel good again with clarity, integrity, and a tiny bit of cheat code magic, because let's be honest, I need all the help I can get. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.